Hello. I am legit annoyed. I'll have to tell you guys about it later because I'm already late. Already late for my live. Like a whole hour late. I tweeted going live at 12 to discuss the show. Thought it was enough time for myself. And then realized it was not. It was not. It was like so many things I got hung up on, and then I had to then like cheer myself up because I was just like frazzled, in which that doesn't happen to me a lot because I don't put my energy in other people's hands anymore. Okay, that was like a New Year's resolution not too long ago. And yeah, so anyway, what's up, y'all? It's your girl Camera. You're watching Camera Music TV, and I'm here to discuss Insecure, the last episode ever. What I can say though is they really could, if they wanted, they could come back and do like a 10-year reunion or something like that, like how Best Man later on was able to come out again. They could do that because the way that they ended the show and the way that they did this last episode, it kind of did feel final. But also like they could also go so many places because everyone was just continuing with life. Okay, so we're gonna get into it. We're also gonna discuss the documentary. So if you're new here, please make sure you subscribe to my channel and like this video. I am going to share my link now on Twitter so that everyone knows where to hop on, where to join to discuss, because I want to hear you all's thoughts. I am going to share my link. Yep, I am heard. The audio is working. Okay, let's click now and let's discuss the show last night and the documentary. How did y'all feel? Okay, and then I need all the necessary hashtags. Yeah, so okay. So we know that we had like a lot of questions on how the series was going to wrap up, right? Because child, that thing clicked me out so fast. Hey Trey, thank you. Thank you. I loved it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Okay, so anyway, so yeah, we had a lot of questions because we was like, how y'all gonna wrap up this season, this series, when y'all took so long to get everything going and get everything started? I mean, the season was finally starting to get good like last episode. And there was a lot of conversation about that. Hold on, let me put this up here so y'all know that Trey gave me big ups on the hair. There was a lot of conversation about that on Twitter, on Instagram, just lots of different places that it just seemed like the season was just like a slow burn. Like nothing was getting exciting. And I can say that I felt the opposite. Like I understand life, and that's why I like Insecure so much. It's because like with life, everything and every day is not exciting. There's so many things that contribute to the bigger things, the bigger moments. And I understand it's a show, and I understand that it's the very end and all that, and so that we wanted more. I do agree with that concept. Like I wanted more with Nathan. I wanted more about this conversation because it was kind of like this Issa ism, and Issa the actress ism is that she just kind of allows these things to happen around her and doesn't really take responsibility or agency about it from season one, right? And so through the time, as time has gone on, she's kind of grown from that, but she also like kind of hasn't. And then people kind of just allow her to be that way. Trey says, I wish we could have seen more of old girl. Who? Condola? Contraceptive? I wanted to see that conversation between all of them. I didn't want to see like how is that working? Like, is she dealing with her? Is she back cool with her? Like, because I don't think that Condola wanted to be with Lawrence ever. I think that she realized that she put a lot on him, and then was finally like letting him in and able to co-parent with him. And maybe there's a split second where she thought like, I wonder what this could look like, because he really is a great dad. But I also don't think she was that traditional like of a person. So I don't know. And also when she had her child, I feel like her character, like her as the actress changed a lot. Like she wasn't the together Condola that she was before, which is real. So I don't know, like the episode for number one was confusing me because the way that it moved through, like we needed timestamps. Like they had this unique way of showing time by doing birthdays. And that was cool, but I just wish we could have said like Issa's 34th birthday, Molly's 33rd birthday, because we knew that within the order that where we last left off at this party, Tiffany was moving away. And the child was still pretty young, right? Like, I know that we did 1 year later. So technically their child's like 2 or 3, maybe. But when we see Tiffany's kid later on, I'm like, is the baby, is she driving now? Because she is grown. Like, I'm like, where is the time going? So we had Tiffany's and Derek's going away, right? And then Tiffany said, I have a ticket and I'll be back for Molly's birthday. So that means like it hasn't even been a year. I don't think, because we don't know how close. They said Molly's birthday was coming up. So it has to have been like less than 6 months. So then when Issa's birthday, like Molly's birthday ended up being when her mom was there, everybody's there, Torian's holding the cake. Like, I'm like, how much time has this been? I need a timestamp. Like, I don't know how much time it's been, because next is Issa's birthday, and now she got a brick and mortar for her business. So I'm like, okay. And then at this point, hasn't spoken to Nathan or Lawrence since that night. And I'm like, okay, so how long has it been? Has it been a year? Like the sense of time was just off, because then after that, they went to Denver to visit Tiffany. That had to have been less than a year still. And then that's when we saw her kid grown. I'm just like, okay, the time's not making sense. After that, Kelly was, announcing she was pregnant with her new boo Desmond. Like, the sense of time just really had me thrown off. And I wanted to understand, because like I said, we're so invested in this is series finale. This is the very end. They're not coming back. We can't call them. We can't ask them like, hey, Tiffany, how your baby grow up so fast like that, girl? What you giving her Pedialyte? What's going on? Vitamins, Flintstone vitamins? We don't know. So the sense of time really messed me up. My friend Angel was over, and we both was just like, girl, when is it? What time? When is it? Because by the time we get to Lawrence and his son looked like he driving and about to go to prom too. Like, I'm just like, okay, everybody is grown, and I don't know how. We're so grown already. Okay. So let me just backtrack, because I had to get some of that out first, because I was very frustrated. Because I think, like what they were saying in the documentary, which we will discuss a little later, y'all, this oil's dripping from my head. We put a lot on this finale, because this show means a lot to us. Like, it put so many things on the map, which I'm going to discuss later. Let me make sure I don't forget what I'm going to discuss later. I really don't like taking notes, because it just, too much notes. I'll discuss the documentary after this video. Okay, so let me see. When we're at Molly's birthday party, right? You see her mom, you see all these people, you see Torian and her developing this closeness. I'm like, okay, they're gonna end up getting married. And I'm like, that's good for Molly. Like, she needed that, right? She needed that person. She found her person. And Molly has had this long road. I really want to watch from season 1 because the glow up, honey, for everybody is just so real. I'm gonna get into that. I'm gonna get into that for the documentary. Make sure I save that. Okay. So yes, so she is, trying to choose like what to wear. She's kind of nervous because she's meeting his people. Issa's in there, she's helping out. And Issa's kind of hinting that she's kind of this mess, right? So we're trying to figure out like who does she choose? What did she do? Actually, let me back it up. The way the episode starts is they are in a car, her and Nathan. And Nathan said, okay, it's coming back to me, y'all, because I was really annoyed. I was really upset. They're in a car and Nathan's just like, he's hurt. He can't just keep doing this to himself. It's toxic. And I was like, yes, and is. Speak up for yourself. Advocate for yourself, right? And so he's saying all these things and he's telling her, like, I just got to pump the brakes. Like, I can't do this. And first, she's asking, like, can you come inside? Can we talk about it? And he keeps saying that, like, it's painful. It hurts. And she's kind of just like, okay. And I'm like, okay, you saying okay. And his face kind of looked like, okay, like you're not going to fight for me. So it's kind of the same sentiment with Lawrence. I'm going to tell you why she's not going to fight for you, Nathan, because she don't want you for real. And I think he realized that. But the thing I don't like about Issa's character is she don't say it. She don't call the thing, right? Like, and I understand, right? We be scared, we be nervous, we be shy, we be like, it's awkward, which she is awkward anyway. But you don't want to say the thing for real because you're like, if I say it, then I'm gonna feel a type of way, or I don't, it makes me feel bad because I don't want to do that. But also, it's like if you don't say it, then there's no clarity, then there's mess, and she breeded so much mess that could have been avoided if she just would have been able to say, like, hey, I did not realize that if he moved back in town, I would be feeling these types of ways, feeling these things. So, and I'm also realizing, like, you're also a really great person. I'm also into you. But it's not fair to you to bring you along for this ride when I don't know if we see him in Walmart, if we see him in Target, like what my reaction is going to be. And I don't think that a lot of times you have to be like super honest with yourself and be self-aware to know, like, because you don't know till you see him. But anytime you're like pining the way Issa was, I'm talking about looking at his social media. Oh, he moved back and having all these like daydreams and like seeing him thinking that he's talking to her, but it's really Nathan. Like at that point, something has to click where you're just like, you know what? I can't be looking at places with the next dude, with the new dude. I can't be doing that if I'm still stuck on him, because if we're ever in a place where our worlds collide, I'm gonna have my man in a sticky situation. That's the part that that's the part I don't respect. You have to say something. Hey Tanya, thank you for watching. It says, is it that Nathan got out the way for Issa, or he can't handle one incident? I think that two things can be true. I think that he's very sensitive, right? He has the different things with him that he's dealing with, that he's working on. And he said that. He's like, this is just a lot. It's a lot for me, this person with bipolar disorder, with, like dealing with myself, having my own insecurities. And then you too have your own stuff. Issa has her own stuff where she doesn't like to confront things head on. So it's like, two things are true there. If Issa was more forward, he would still be insecure. He would still be who he is, I feel, right? But also, too, it's like, Nathan is still insecure regardless, right? But he has a reason, because Issa has not gotten over this dude, right? So I didn't like seeing that part. Like, I wish she could have said to him ahead of time, like I was telling y'all last week. If she would have had a conversation with him before he went to this party, because your two friends are moving away out of the state. You can't tell me you didn't think he was going to be there and he moved back to town. It's just like how Chad was saying, Lawrence just lets things happen to him. Issa kind of lets things happen to her too. Like, she has a lot of thoughts, but not a whole lot of action when it comes to matters of the heart. Okay, good stuff. Trey says, I just feel the episode was rushed and forced, kind of. I feel the same way. It feels like we got the montage, like the last 10. Yeah, we got an extra 20 minutes or 15 minutes. That was great. But it was like a lot of that was just memory lane stuff, right? We got to see like the old neighbor, the blood neighbor. We got to see like we got y'all. We got to see different things as Issa's driving by. Of course, we got a lot of the fast forwards, but there was just like a lot of context missing. And I understand the message was probably that the context wasn't needed or that it was implied, but it's like we feel deeply about these people. So we need y'all to give us more because we ain't gonna have no more. We ain't gonna have no more. So yeah, Trey, I totally feel you. I feel exactly the same way. Hold on, y'all. Let me adjust these lights. I got the app now, honey. I don't even know if it's doing it. Let's see. So, yes. That's green. Whatever. That works. Okay. So, let me see. So those two, so I guess that's the breakup, right? Nathan has broken up with Issa because he's saying like he can't handle it, it's too much. She says, okay, she walks inside, she turns around, she looks at him. I'm gonna say this for the last time. She should have had that last word because regardless of if they were about to fight in this party or Lawrence approached her the wrong way or she whatever it is, they should have been prepared. He should not have walked into that. The only person he's there with is her. You don't make nobody feel that way. And I understand, like, we all have our road, we all have our journey. I've probably done this to people before as well. But I think what we learn from this show is we see like a mirror. We see situations that we're in, we learn from it, we move forward, we know how not to move. So we should be learning from this as well. I just need Issa to be able to say, like, I'm confused. Maybe we shouldn't be looking for her. She don't even have to say it blatantly. Just maybe we shouldn't be looking for a place together. How about that? Okay. So at Molly's party, we've already talked about that. Kelly introduces us to Desmond, who is very cute, by the way. Congratulations, Kelly. Tiffany kind of, to me, seems out of the loop here. Issa has this surprise party. This is where Nathan shows up, and she kind of gets her closure. They have a conversation. They're able to laugh, smile, get past it. But Lawrence is still not in the picture, right? Okay. Then after that, the ladies visit Tiffany in Denver. She has this beautiful, glorious, monstrous house, but she is not happy like we knew she wouldn't be. And this is when Molly finds out about her mother passing, right? I think that it was a hard blow, but also because I kind of felt like it was desensitized because we had just felt with the heaviness of like her being sick and being in the hospital and like watching them work through that. So then when she passed, I kind of like that they did it after all of their things were aligned and in order. I don't like it. I don't like that she missed Molly's wedding, right, of her only daughter. That was rough, but it's also life. So I appreciate all of these different life and real aspects added because I feel like they're so needed to see on TV. Like everything is not just comedy or just great all the time. Okay. Let me see. After that, I thought Issa was calling Lawrence to tell him about Molly's mom, but now it's Lawrence's birthday. He's talking to his mama who's singing happy birthday to you. She was singing a little different. The guy from the Temptations or Five Heartbeats, I don't think I remember that was Lawrence's daddy. I don't know. But, you know, they're having a cute conversation. Issa uses this time to call him and be awkward. But he got somebody else he entertaining. Now, I'm thinking this is another time where I'm like, when is this? Is this 2 years later? Is this 1 year later? Because she said she didn't want it to get too far away from her before she had this conversation with him. But you called him on his birthday thinking he wasn't going to be doing nothing? Like, things just aren't making sense. And you want so much more for it. You want so much more for it. If what I thought before is it's art, and it don't have to make sense to nobody but the writers, okay? They got a writer's room, they got actors and actresses, and a lot of things are subjective. So I totally get it. But also like we don't get no more. So I really want to know. Like I really want to understand. Jeez. So basically he leaves with another girl, somebody he dating because she calling him babe or whatever. And so we speed kind of through that. We get to Kelly's like birthday dinner. She had this really full, pretty ponytail in this green. Everybody's there. Molly's not there because Molly, we see she's going through this grieving process where we're not seeing her at certain things, which is also a real thing, right? And this is when Kelly announces like her and Desmond, she wouldn't do it with no other man, but they gonna have a baby. So I thought this was interesting because us millennials, we have taken a different lease out on life where we're like, everything doesn't have to be date, go to college, get married, buy a house together, have a child. It don't have to go like that. Like if I want to have a child with this man and we want to agree to co-parent, or we just gonna be dating and living together and cohabitating, that's our business and that's what we want to do, right? I love that. Of course, is there insecurity there or a little bit of doubt there because what we were raised under is like your whole thing gonna fall apart because you giving the whole cow to the man. Why would he need the milk when he can get the whole cow type thing? You know what they say. But that was good and refreshing to see because it just shows you like, okay, like we're progressing, we are progressive, right? And I was happy for Kelly. After that, let's see. Are we now to Molly's wedding? No, it is Molly's birthday again. So I'm like, okay, so technically it's been a year. So Tiffany's only been gone a year or two at this point. I don't know. Like the sense of time was, I needed timestamps and I was so confused why we only got one timestamp. We got a timestamp towards the end when it said 1 year later. But I was like, 1 year later from what? From what? Like, we didn't see no Christmas trees. We never knew when Molly, Issa, and Kelly's birthdays were, like what month. We never saw no Happy New Year. We never, like, nothing to like give you a sense of time. So the birthdays was a cute way to do it. But I'm also like, how do you know? How do you know what year it is? How do you know? So yeah, Molly's at work. She got this like wavy, curly, like type of bob. And it's her birthday. And Torian has a surprise for her. Issa knows about it. We don't know what it is. Maybe he's popping the question, right? But she still hasn't like really seen her a whole lot because she's been grieving. Molly realizes like this time last year, that's what I'm saying. It's been a year. I had my mom. See, but the thing is, Lawrence's son, he had to be at least 6 or 7. He had to be at least 6. So I don't know. Okay. But anyway, they and I know they're just actors and they just give you a number or whatever. But the thing about it is we're hard on this show because they're so good about everything else. So we realize that Kelly's now working with Molly. She's started her firm, started her thing. They discussed it at Issa's party when they was trying to find her a man to take home for the birthday festivities. So they were able to do that. So we like that, right? And that kind of gets tied up. Kelly's no longer working for the white man. She's doing something that's more fulfilling that she enjoys. And now Molly is married. She has this beautiful wedding, and I'm looking at the venue like, is this also where Issa got married? And she tried to act like she didn't get married. Like, I was wondering if I was gonna be able to pinpoint that. She probably did use that place and write it off as a part of her show if she's smart. Come on now. But yeah, she gets married there and it's real cute. Everybody's in their bridesmaids dresses. Tiffany's pregnant. Kelly's pregnant. And this is another moment where I'm like, okay, is this a year later? Because Kelly's baby would have been born unless it was like 9 months or 8 months later, or unless Kelly and him decided they were going to have a baby. But no, like, was I the only one that thought when she was saying, okay, we have an announcement to make? I thought because Kelly's always playing around, she was going to say, we're getting a dog or we're moving in together. But no, it's really that she's pregnant. And like Tiffany's like jumping up and down and happy because, you know, that's all Tiffany wants is one of her girls in the group to be a mom like her, to understand her plight, be there for, have like commiserate and have the things. So yeah. Okay. So the wedding, like I said, is amazing, super nice. I think I skipped something. I definitely skipped something because Lawrence ends up at Issa's brick and mortar, like the nicer place, I guess. And she's like, "Let me give you the tour." And this is another thing that annoyed me because you guys will learn that I'm just very forward. Like I like to say the things. I don't like to leave things up to the imagination or you have to guess about anything with me. Like I like to be able to say, especially if you like, if you're somebody that I'm like authentically me with, then I don't feel like it should be too much guessing. I should be able to say. So when Issa's in here giving her spiel about her business and like not having any doubts and finally understanding her, like we know that it's a double entendre, right? Because she's talking about her and Lawrence, and she's also talking about her and her business. And you know, he's catching what she's putting down and they loving on each other. They end up kissing. I could just feel all y'all, the Lawrence hive, just be like, yes, yes. I could feel it, right? And in a way, I'm happy as well. I wanted them to end up back together. I just don't like the mess. I don't like the mess of things. I think that Nathan did let her down easy because Nathan was the one who broke up with her for his own good. So we were happy for Nathan because we're like, okay, Nathan, in self care, right? But also, Issa's our girl. So we hate that she had to be the one to hurt him. But I just don't like when life just happens to people. Like Issa should be speaking up and saying something, right? So yeah, her and Lawrence are seemingly back on. She does say something like she's gonna try. And I'm like, no, like if you are really doing this, you need to make a commitment. You know, maybe try in the beginning. Fine, I'm putting a lot on it. I be putting a lot of pressure. I know I'm hard. I guess I just wanted her to be like, no, I am in this. Like, it is you I am choosing. You are my person. I am in this. We are down. We are ready to go. And him to say the same thing because these two float with the wind. You know, when we look back at season 1 and Lawrence looking scruffy when he was working at Best Buy, how he was looking sitting on that couch, I said, "Ooh, Lawrence, we have come a long way." Okay, we're gonna discuss that in the documentary. We're gonna discuss that in the documentary video. But yeah, so when they end up at the wedding and he taps her and he's there with her and he on his debonair stuff, I'm just like, who is this, honey? Who is this? Okay, Jay Ellis, you better give Suave. I was like, okay. So it kind of speeds up more, right? She's like, her business is thriving, and you can see her like start to have the doubts in her mind, but then like check those doubts and be like, no, like you're doing great. You're doing all the things. Did anybody else want to see Crenshaw again? I really want to see him again. Not as Ralph Angel with Darla, because you know they make a cute couple, but I need to see him over here, honey. But yeah, the business is thriving. She's moving on up. Now she's in her Lexus. She's cruising through the town. You see, we got y'all. Her old friend has cut her hair, right? We see the girl from Awkward Black Girl with the I think she's Asian. The brown hair, she's on there. We see her past the neighbor, the dunes, like passing all these different things to end up at the house with Lawrence, you know, where she lives. And nice house with her stepson. Well, she's engaged. I'm sorry, before that, her and Molly have this really like heart-wrenching talk as she's getting her out of her wedding dress and unbuckling all the corset and all these things. And Molly just gives her this heartfelt thank you, and she's like feels in bliss and just really happy. And they just it just confirms that the series was about that love story, right? We learned that in the documentary. And although, you know, we follow the guys and we follow all of the things, Their friendship is what solidified and really like in the end, these two were solid, just like they were in the beginning, even with all the things that have happened, deaths and relationships and businesses and all of these things. They were able to sustain their friendship. So it just makes you appreciate your village more, your friends, your group. And as you get older, I'm telling y'all, you start to really, really appreciate those friendships and those people who are there, because there's so many people who don't be there. There's so many people, whether blood or not, who are just like, they don't have the capacity to be there. And those who do, you need to hold near and dear to your heart. Okay, so yes, in the end, Molly's in Greece with some crazy looking green screen. And she's having the time of her life with her husband. Issa's like, is this what I have to look forward to? Everybody has seemingly, things have been wrapped up, tied up. In the wind down, it's Prentice and Issa discussing like how they didn't want to tie everything up in a pretty bow. But I kind of feel like everything was kind of tied up. Like we got a lot of our questions answered. Issa and Nathan aren't enemies, but also like she was about to move in with him, so they can't just maintain this friendship. Her and Lawrence are together, working on uh getting married. And I'm like, I don't need them to be engaged for years, please, Lord, no. But how is Condola in this situation? Like, I feel like they left it open so that they could do a spinoff if need be. They could come back in 10 years and do a Friends reunion. They could do things because they left it kind of open where you want to know about each person. And that was super smart. So I want to know what you guys thought about the finale. I did want to share that I received a message on Twitter from Insecure about rocking some merch, and I never got it. Let me tell y'all, because I think now I can speak on it. It says, "Hey, Bristmas is coming early, and we have a very special surprise for you. You've been selected as a recipient for the Insecure Season 5 finale giveaway. To be sure that you receive your gift, we just need to confirm a few things. So please refrain from mentioning or posting this message exchange online or with friends until 12:23 after we share on our channels. By confirming you agree to send along a few images or a short video of you with your new Insecure finale swag via DM by Thursday, December 16th. Y'all, I'm telling y'all, I got this message like December 8th and I still have not gotten a thing. We'll be sharing a tweet on December 23rd asking fans who receive gifts to reply to the tweet with pics with them in their swag. If you're able to participate, we ask that you please tag Insecure HBO and use the hashtag HBO Gift. Please send us your mailing info." So I responded, did all the things, never received anything. And then even asked them like, "Hey, have y'all sent anything?" Because this is like last week. I'm like, "Have y'all sent anything?" And I'm like, "No, like I haven't gotten anything." And so they're like, "Oh, a lot of people haven't received their swag bags yet. Please feel free to share photos in your swag via DM whenever you receive it." So I don't know. It's definitely from Insecure HBO, their Twitter. Definitely not a hacking situation. I said I was going to check this hashtag though. But yeah, I was super excited for that because I was like, I'm trying to wear my stuff. I'm trying to wear my stuff, but I'm looking at this hashtag. I don't think a lot of people got their stuff. I don't know. Hold on. Yeah, I don't know what that's about. But anyway, I had received that. So yeah, you guys let me know what you thought about this episode. Comment your thoughts down below. Let me know, like, did it aggravate you? Were you happy? Were you happy about the extra like 12 minutes? Were you annoyed? Are you sad? Like, let me know. I'm about to click this one off and then hop back on live to discuss the documentary, because there are a lot of things that I want to discuss about the show, period, that I don't feel belong in this episode or in this review. So I'm Cameron, and this is Cameron Music TV, and I'll see you guys next time.